first cooking video for this year. God is good, He is so kind, and He has kept us to this point. One of the great things we need to keep in mind when we cook is to keep it simple. The simpler it is, the easier to digest, the easier it is to make, the easier it is for you to go on your journey in diet reform, health reform, in what you eat. And we are trying to use the basic things that are available around us so that you too, wherever you are, in the simplest way, you can get these things done. So today we shall be sharing with you a very interesting one. It is scrambled sesame seeds and egusi combined together to produce that scrambled effect for you to enjoy with your rice, your yam, but I will be serving it right after at the end with yams. So look forward to that as you stay tuned. So I would like to share with you what we have here so that you can know the ingredients that are needed. So I have some whole turmeric ground here. This is our main ingredient, egusi and sesame seed. What I did here with this was to measure a half cup of sesame seed and a half cup of egusi seed, toasted. I did that with the pan. I had made sure that the pan was dry, and then I toasted it a little bit, put it on fire, and then I ground it with a hand grinder. After that, we also have, this is oziza and sweet basil. Oziza and sweet basil cut in pieces, and some onions and garlics, salt, and some water mixed with salt to be added into the egusi to form it into balls, which you shall see later on. So that's that, and we have our pot, of course. Stay with us. At this point now, I'm going to share with you how you're going to prepare the egusi. I'm going to make it into small balls, which shall be added into the pot later on after having added my onions and allowing it to saute for a few minutes. So now I'm going to divide this into two. I have some garlics and some onions. I'm going to divide this into two because I'm going to steam some of this vegetable. I'm going to talk a little about this vegetable in a few moments. So stay with me. So I have my pot here. I'm dividing this into two. I would like most of it to go in because in proportion to our vegetables, I would like the egusi to taste more, taste better. So I'm adding the onions. This is pretty simple. Anyone can do this. You can do it. So I'm going to use the rest of this for the steaming of the vegetable. Look at this now. So when it's time for me to put this on fire, I'm going to add a little water, not so much. So I have some a teaspoon of salt mixed into more than a half cup of water. So I'm going to pour some of this into this and then stir to have a thick consistency. That's very important to be able to achieve that scramble effect. So just a little at a time. Then you stir. I think this is good enough. I added some salt into this, just so you know. I'm going to add the turmeric as well. Turmeric is so good for the health. Everything here is good. So I think this is good enough. So you want something like this. So let's see how much water we can add to this. I think this is good enough. You see? Okay, so this is good enough. I'm going to add some more water later on. So I'll add my salt to taste. You want to be careful with the salt. This is sea salt, so you could use Himalayan salt. Preferably, you want to use the coarse type of sea salt, not the finely ground one, because that could many times it contains what is called an anti-caking agent, and that's not good for the health. So I'd like to talk a little bit about this vegetable, which we shall steam later. And this is hospital tufa. Some call it hospital tufa, some call it Catholic ugu, some call it independence leaves, because I don't know why actually, but one thing is when you cut it off, it usually produces this white sap, and you need to be careful how you cut it. It could cause you to itch, so be mindful. A way to prepare it other than this, that is cutting it straight this way, is to, after having harvested them carefully, of course, you then pour in some hot water for about a minute or two, cover a little bit, and then drain the water and cut to the size you like and add to your meal, or you steam it, which is what I will be doing today, steaming these vegetables. So let's now move to the stove. We are here now. I have put this on fire. There's some fire under. And so this process is sauteing. I put a little water. I don't want a lot. I want the onions to have that saute feel. And so very soon you start to hear the sound. One of the advantages of putting the salt at this point, especially if you are using a coarse type, is that the little liquid in this will dissolve the salt. And remember that I put a little salt in the egusi and beni seed mixture. So the egusi I mixed already. Egusi is also called melon seeds, by the way. And sesame seed is also called beni seed by some. So let's wait a little and have this simmer some more, cook some more. Looking good. So now I'm going to add the egusi. So you want to form it into small noodles, just like this. That's it. So I'm going to do this till I'm done with all of it. I reduce the fire underneath. So we have our egusi in now. After having made the egusi and beni seed into noodles, added a little water, which I'm going to add to this. Carefully, you don't want the egusi to break up. So we allow that to cook. We'll come back in the next few minutes. Looking good. So now I add my uziza and sweet basil. If you have scent leaf, that's good as well. No Maggi, no all of that, no vedan. Many of the seasonings sold over the shelf, they contain MSG. So you want to be sure to read the label when you buy these things. Looking good. We're almost ready to serve. So let's have this cook a little bit more. I'll show you a very simple way to steam the vegetables. If you add some tomatoes, good tomatoes, very important to note that, good tomatoes, or some eggplants, you could add that to steamed vegetables, but for these I'm just going to use onions and garlics. One of the goal of this is that everyone can do it based on what you have and make your food tasty. So I added a little water to this, the same kind of method I used with preparing the egusi. So I added a little amount of water, so small. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Excuse me. So I add my onions and garlics. The more onions you add to your meal, the tastier it will be. So now I'm going to take this to the stove and get to it. I'm going to do this till the onions have a transparent look. Well, it's not transparent, I think it's translucent. So keep on. Every boy, every girl should learn to cook. So you see now that the onions have changed in their look, a little more light colored. So now I add the vegetables. There's no oil in this, by the way. you had a little oat burger in our last video, we shared with you our last cooking video, oat burger, you could add it to this. You could bake it again, make it really dry, and then add it to your steamed veggies. You could add some tomatoes, if you had some eggplants or aubergine. Very tasty. God has given us so much to enjoy in nature. So all ready now. Turn off the fire and prepare to serve. So as I said, I'm serving this with some yams. I have here some water yams and also some cocoa yam. Now if you notice, this was actually cooked with the skin. There are some minerals on the skin. After washing your yams, you then put them, you cut them to size and then put them in the pot and have them cook. So I already peeled some of my yams and I'll peel this last one for you to see. This is water yam. The Yorubas call it Ishu Ewura. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So now let me prepare this for serving. I'm so happy, so thankful to God that we achieved our aim. Be careful with the amount of water you put into the egusi and sesame seeds. That's important for you to get that scrambled effect. Now mind you, sesame seeds, they have a slightly bitter taste, but it's all good, healthy and tasty. I look forward to eating this. I hope you see it. We have some cocoa yam cut into it, and underneath we have the water yam, our steamed vegetables, hospital too far, or Catholic ugu, and then your sesame seeds and egusi seed, all scrambled. Please, when you're done cooking, leave a comment below. In fact, right after watching, leave a comment below, let us know how it went, and by God's grace, we hope this will ease the path of your diet reform, of your change of diet, your health reform journey. May God bless you, may God keep you. Please subscribe, like, and share this video with others to help them on their journey of changing their lifestyle. May God bless you. Bye.